So we're going to visit the back body, working with the hamstrings and the back body and all the things behind us that we don't normally, we don't see the back body with our eyes. And so it's a little bit harder to feel what's going on back there and to use what's behind us to make us stronger, to strengthen all of our asana, right? So, of course, strengthening and engaging the back body, or strengthening what's behind us, kind of allows for a greater opening in the front body, right? Like using, I love this analogy, it like really speaks to me right now. Using what's behind us and strengthening what's behind us to open up our heart into the future, into the front of us, and just, making it, instead of just splaying open, right, spilling open from the front, you are doing it in a powerful way, which I feel like is a 2020 to 2021 kind of, yes, please. All right, so you will need 2 blocks and something slidey, so your sliders or a blanket, or if you're on carpet, you can use magazine inserts or whatnot. And I want you to just lean your weight into your left foot, and with a very, very straight right leg, swipe your heel back, like there's something really stuck on the bottom of your heel, like beach tar or something like that, okay? And feel the whole hamstring turn on. With the knee straight, you should feel it all the way up to the sit bone. Okay, so bring your weight into your left foot and find that action of driving the left heel into the floor. Can you find the heel swiping action even as you stand on the left foot? And then hover the right foot. Bring your arms overhead and find a standing back bend with your pulling your right heel back, finding the hamstring there. Inhale here. Now slowly keep driving into the left heel and feel the left hamstring modulating your release as you tip forward. Try to keep the lifting of the right leg. So feel that sense of almost like a back bend as you tip forward to standing splits. Take a couple breaths here, first time here. So really pulling your chest centered over your knee, lifting with the right heel. And then inhale, come halfway up, plant your hands, and you can step or hop your left foot back. You can come to handstand if you're ready for it. And then a slow lower chaturanga, maybe keeping the right leg elevated the whole time, even as you come to up dog, lifting the right leg away from the floor, using the glute. And then exhale, 3-legged downward facing dog. So it's like a one-legged Surya A. Now you can set the right foot down as you take your breaths in down dog, or you can keep the right leg lifted, really feeling the connection from the right heel through the back of the head. And then look between your hands. You can either step or hop your left foot forward. If you're going to come to handstand, bring the left foot underneath the belly button, kick up, and you're going to land your left foot at the front of the mat. Standing splits. Lift the right heel. Now drive into the left heel and try to do like a single leg deadlift to bring yourself back up to standing. Set the right foot down. Hands to prayer in front of the heart. Good. And then come up, bend your right knee, inhale, crescent pose. So come up onto the ball of the left foot, maybe gazing up, maybe repeating that same work from warrior one. So what would it take to lift your straight left leg away from the floor? Can you find the back bend here, pulling the left heel to the back of the head? And then tip yourself forward. Bring your weight onto your right foot, standing splits. Now bend your left knee, lift your knee higher. Keep it that high, re-extend the leg. Try not to open your hips to the left though. So keeping your hips squared with the floor, bend the knee, lift it higher, really squeezing the left glute. Keep it that high, re-extend the leg.
One more time, bend the knee, lift the knee higher, keep it that high, re-extend the leg. Take a couple breaths here, strong hamstrings. Good, and then inhale halfway up. And you can, this is something that I kind of enjoy, especially if you're working on your puppy press, is to bring the block. You can either step back, move through your vinyasa, we'll meet in downward facing dog, or you can try a little bit of what I call a scorpion press. So a puppy press is the knee comes to the armpit. A scorpion press, the knee, I named it that because it's kind of a scorpion shape. Your left knee is coming up and back like the scorpion tail, right? And with your foot on a block, it might be a little easier to find this press. Pull the left heel to the butt, strong straight arms, tip your weight forward, try to keep your elbows straight, and press up from there. Now the block is there and we're going to use it in the vinyasa, so you'll leave it there as you jump back. Oh boy. Even lower through chaturanga. Place your pubic bone on the block. Push your pubic bone into the block, lift your legs away from the floor. Come to upward facing dog with your legs elevated. Tuck your toes, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe here. So, like I said, I'm leaving down. Lean your weight into your left knee and just hover your right knee. Take a moment to find stability through the left hip here, balancing on your left knee. And then slowly and with control, step your right foot to your blanket or your slidey object. Okay, now tuck your tailbone. Find that pre-loading of the front of the left hip flexors. Keep that whole engagement of pulling pubic bone towards sternum, okay? And just slide the whole unit forward. So keeping the right knee bent, and then pull it back. Sliding forward. You have your blocks there for balance if you need. Slide it back. Slide it forward. Slide it back. So I don't want to see a big, one of these as you slide forward. Don't dump into the low back. All right, if that went well. Staying upright, just straighten and bend the right knee a couple times. Okay, yes, that's a thing we can do. That's good. Lights on in the nervous system for that. Okay, now, extend the right leg first. Maybe find in your mind's eye the blocks or hold them in your hands, okay? Tucking the tailbone, keeping this nice and long and engaged. Slide the whole unit forward. Only go as far forward as you can then return from. Slide forward. Your blocks are there to catch you if you need. You can move them to a different location if you want. And do this a few times, maybe deepening each time. But try to use the strength of your legs to pull yourself back up, not like don't land on the blocks and like push yourself back up. I want it to be the strength of your splits that does it. Okay, and then slide forward. Come to what's your comfortable maximum for today. And bring your fingertips to your blocks. You can lower the blocks if you need. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did in the little flow. So push your right heel forward, left knee back. Your hips should feel like they open to the left. Okay, maybe you get a little closer to the floor, right? And then the yoga teacher says, square your hips. So you got to pull your right heel back and your left knee forward to square your hips a little more. Do that a few times, just exploring. There's nothing wrong with the first position, the open hips position. And I think that the reason people cue the squaring of the hips is because it becomes a much more intense stretch for the left hip flexor if your hips are squared, right? Okay, now with your hips squared, push your right heel to the right, left knee to the left. And then pull right heel to the left, left knee to the right. So squeeze in inner thighs together. Push them out to the sides, pull them into the midline. One more, out to the sides, into the midline, and then sink in for your full splits. Okay, maybe you can take the weight in your legs. So pushing down through the right calf and down through the left knee or the left thigh if it's on the floor. Maybe you can bring your arms overhead. Pulling the right heel back, left hip forward, Breathe. So using those muscles to hold you up. Yes, oh, it's beautiful, you guys. God, that's great. That looks fantastic, so strong. Okay, now, maybe you use your fingertips to get you out of the end-to-end range, but try to come up out of it with mostly the power of what's behind you. All right, so find hip stability in the left hip, revisit that. Balance on your left knee. Can you balance, hover, right foot, just for a moment, and then gently set the right knee